Welcome to the MSL Insights educational series. Look, if you're a current or aspiring medical science liaison, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're tackling an absolutely critical hurdle, transforming your clinical CV into an industry-ready powerhouse. We're going to break down exactly how to structure and format a CV that pharmaceutical hiring managers actually want to read.
Everything we're diving into today is grounded in the strategic insights of Savannah Parker. She's a practicing medical science liaison with a PharmD, an MBA, and a BCPS certification. Throughout this explainer, we'll be sharing her personal professional opinions, direct experiences, and the exact methods she used to successfully navigate the MSL application process. This is all about giving you clear, professional, and purely informational tools that you can actually take action on right away.
Section 1. The Paradigm Shift. Clinical versus Industry CVs.
Okay, before we even touch formatting, we really need to talk about a massive mindset shift. The academic world and the pharmaceutical industry, they are totally different beasts. A clinical or academic CV is basically an exhaustive history of everything you've ever done. It's got every rotation, every minor presentation, every single extracurricular. It's comprehensive, sure, but man, it's incredibly long and dense. Hiring managers in pharma literally just do not have the time to sift through all of that. What they need is an MSL or industry CV. This format is highly targeted, focused purely on your specific accomplishments, and streamlined down to 4 pages or less. You are essentially moving from a giant historical encyclopedia to a punchy highlight reel.
Section 2. The top third. Mastering the executive summary.
Let's talk about the most valuable real estate on your entire document, the top third of the first page. This is where you bring in the executive summary. Now, this is a mandatory element for industry, but it's almost always totally missing from clinical CVs. This isn't a long-winded autobiography. It's a succinct highlight reel to instantly show a hiring manager what you bring to the table. You want to use a short sentence paragraph format, but here is the real trick. Completely drop the I am subject. Instead of writing, I am a highly motivated pharmacist, you just jump right out of the gate with the action and your credentials. Highly motivated and board-certified clinical pharmacist. You see, it saves space, it reads so much punchier, and it instantly establishes your credibility.
Section 3. Deep dive. Formatting core competencies. So you've hooked them with the summary. Now you bridge smoothly right into your core competencies. We're talking about vital MSL skills here, things like scientific presentation, relationship building, and clinical assessment. In an academic CV, these are usually just buried inside massive paragraphs of job descriptions, but for industry, we pulled them out front and center. The problem is, listing these out can waste a ton of valuable space. A super common mistake is dumping your skills in one long, single column down the left side, leaving this massive, awkward sea of white space on the right. To fix this, you just pop into Microsoft Word, go to the Layout tab, click the Columns menu, and select 2.
The result is just incredibly clean. The absolute key here is balancing the list. You want an even number of lines on each side. Aim for something like 8 to 10 bullet points so both sides balance out perfectly. It completely eliminates that dead white space and gives your CV a really sharp, polished, industry standard vibe. And just a quick note from Savannah, 3 columns can actually start to look a little too crowded, so sticking to 2 really is the sweet spot.
Let's actually slow down for a quick second and walk through this process, because getting your formatting right is quite literally half the battle. Step 1, just type out all your bullet points normally in a single column. Step 2, highlight that entire list. Step 3, click Columns on the Layout tab. And Step 4, select 2. Seriously, it's a 30-second fix, but it instantly elevates the professionalism of your whole document.
Section 4. Actionable experience. Proving your skills.
Right, so your executive summary and core competencies have set the stage. Now let's explore how to refine the professional experience section to actually prove those skills. Remember, we are completely ditching that exhaustive academic history and only highlighting recent, applicable work experience. Now, a major hallmark of a truly clean CV is right-aligning your employment dates so they sit perfectly flush against the right margin. But please, whatever you do not try to do this by just mashing the spacebar. That is a recipe for a formatting disaster. Instead, you need to activate the ruler. Just go up to the View tab in Word and make sure that ruler box is checked.
Once you can actually see the ruler at the top of your document, make sure the right indent arrow is selected in the top left corner. Then click on the ruler at the far right margin and just drag that little arrow right into place. Why bother with this? Well, because now, after you type your company name and location on the left, you just hit the Tab key exactly 1 time and your cursor jumps perfectly to the far right side for your dates. It keeps the whole thing meticulously aligned without breaking a sweat.
Formatting is locked in. So let's talk content.
Every single bullet point should start with an action verb. But more importantly, it needs to highlight a measurable impact. Let's look at the number 150. Savannah shares a really powerful example of this from her own CV. Instead of just saying a generic phrase like she helped patients get medications, she specifically wrote that she completed applications for over 150 Medicare patients, allowing them to receive their medications completely free of charge. Do you see the difference there? It gives specificity. It gives measurable impact. And that is exactly what hiring managers want to see.
Section 5, the ATS strategy, tailoring for the machine.
We are now facing the final and, honestly, maybe the most critical hurdle, the ATS, or Applicant Tracking System. Look, before human eyes ever even see your beautifully formatted CV, an AI software is going to sift through it. Your first line of defense is keeping your formatting simple, which we've already tackled, and always saving your CV as a clean PDF to lock that formatting in place. But the real secret to cracking the ATS? It's strategic keyword integration. You have to feed the machine exactly what it's looking for. If you're applying for a specific role, inject words like dermatology, scientific presentation, and KOL relationship management straight into your executive summary and your core competencies. You're naturally weaving in the exact terminology the AI and eventually the HR team is actively scanning for.
And that leads us right into Savannah Parker's final, crucial piece of advice, which just brilliantly ties this whole thing together. Play to your strengths by building a separate, tailored CV for each specific therapeutic area you apply to. Seriously, if you have a background in both rheumatology and dermatology, do not just make one generic middle-of-the-road CV. Create one CV that is heavy on rheumatology keywords and accomplishments, and a completely different one tailored strictly for dermatology. Yes, it takes a little extra work up front, but it drastically increases your chances of beating that ATS software and actually landing on a hiring manager's desk.
So, as we wrap up this MSL Insights Explainer, I want to leave you with the provocative question to ask yourself right now. Does your current CV reflect your entire academic history or your targeted MSL future? If it's the former, it might be time to open up a fresh document, set up those columns, drag that right indent ruler, and start highlighting the measurable impact that proves you are ready for the pharmaceutical industry. Thanks so much for joining me today, and best of luck transforming your CV.